Drop.
What is good? What is good, guys? Uh, Thank you for everyone that is able to make it to this live. If you guys can hear me, please throw a one in the chat. That way I know everybody can hear me. And as well, I want to put this up on the screen. Throw the QR code up there as well. All right. So I am okay. I survived. I am actually from California, so this is something, earthquakes is something I'm actually used to. Although I will say the buildings in California are built with earthquakes in mind, as in the buildings here in Colombia practically are all made out of brick and cement and rebar. So they are not built in a way that is very survivable of a long or very strong earthquake. So, but yes, I am okay. I survived. Um, Crazy thing is, the first thing I did is I was sleeping because it did happen. The earthquakes happened this morning around 6:30 a.m. and I actually had my phone alarm go off warning me that you usually have those typical like natural disaster notifications that happen. So I have mine on here in Medellin. I'm not 100% sure, but I don't think it's directly on fault lines because in the 3 years that I've lived here in Colombia, we've maybe have had some tremors, which are usually aftershocks. The earthquake will happen somewhere else and you'll get a little bit of the after effects. And sometimes you might get one, you might get two, but usually it's never nothing crazy, not like today. So for me, the first thing I did is oh man, I can't show you guys, but above me here, I have all my camera equipment. I have my light, some of my lights, all my gear, my drone, all that stuff. So, you're talking about maybe thousands of dollars in camera gear between lenses, drones, cameras, and other stuff. So the first thing I did was basically run into the living room, like to make sure. I'm like, what's going on? And then my first instinct was to essentially plaster myself against the wall, uh, to try to make sure none of my shit fell down, and broke, in this earthquake. Now, here in Medellin, to me personally, now obviously I'm somebody who grew up in a state that is, had earthquakes regularly. Well, not regularly. They have, I would say, semi regularly. But I was alive. I was very young. But in the '89 earthquake, I was like a kid at that point. I was still super super young, but I can remember part of it. And then there was another big earthquake that broke the Bay Bridge, which was like a famous picture of like part of it hanging down. I remember that as well. So for me, this was, nothing similar to that, but I understand how it can be very traumatic for the people that were here, just because earthquakes hardly ever happen here in Medellin. But where it hit the hardest was in the coffee region, and actually in a city called Choco, which is predominantly an African American population. So, I'm doing this live today, because I want to try to do an emergency fundraiser. If you guys can help donate anything, what I plan on doing tonight, pretty much after this live, is I'm going to Exito, or actually not Exito, I'm going to Price Smart, and I'm going to actually no, I think Price Smart closes at 7. Let me double check that. Price. And for those of you who don't know, Price Smart is essentially like Costco. Price. Let me see. PR. Price Smart hours. They close at 8:30. Is that Poblado, or is this the one near my house? Okay, so they close at 8:30. So pretty much after this live, what I plan on doing is going to Price Smart. Like I said, that is like the equivalent to Costco. Honestly, I think it ideally is Costco. They have a lot of American brands. The layout is the same. It looks exactly like Costco. They have the same kitchen, pizza, ice cream that Costco has. So my plan is to go there, buy a bunch of supplies, and then tomorrow morning, you can already see my backpack, behind me here. I'm planning on driving down to the coffee region to Pradeda to essentially see if I can physically help in some way, and deliver whatever relief that I can pick up for tonight. I'm going to be also using my own money, and then whatever else I can kind of raise from this live stream. That was the goal of this live stream, was to try to raise however much money I can, and then use that as well to buy supplies. Now, as I said, I do plan on leaving tomorrow. Now, Perdita, Manizales, the coffee region in general, is about a 4 or 5 hour drive away from Medellin. So it's an extremely long drive. So I want to try to be there in the morning. So I'm either going to leave here. I'm going to leave Medellin at like 4 in the morning or 5 in the morning. I'm usually up around 6 anyways. So I plan on leaving around that time to start driving down there. I'm also planning on getting gas tonight, so that way I have that before I leave, and I don't have to stop on the way there. I figured early in the morning there shouldn't be too much traffic, so I can get there hopefully get there very quickly. I did put out a couple of short form videos to see if anybody is here in Colombia. I mean, in Medellin. If any of you guys are in Medellin and would like to help, I would be driving down in the mornings. You're more than welcome to come and help assist in any way that you can. I understand people have jobs and all that stuff. I fortunately have the privilege of, being able to kind of work around my own time and mainly work from my phone. So as long as I have a cell phone data connection, I can pretty much do whatever it is I need to do as far as work. And I don't have to like be stuck somewhere or in front of my desk or whatever for, a typical 8-hour day. So I am going to do whatever I can and essentially give my kind of contribution to helping. At this point in time, there are a lot of people's pets that are still missing. There are people who are trapped under rubble and stuff like that. So I am planning on doing a YouTube video as well to try to document my journey and what it is that is going on tomorrow. So, I will be kind of trying to document that as well. So, yeah, guys, if you can, I have the donate up here, the QR code, and also I have my Cash App at the bottom. Whatever you can donate is greatly appreciated, and it does help. So, some information about the earthquake. The earthquake itself originally came in this morning at around 7:30 a.m. and it was originally reported as a 6.4 magnitude earthquake that then got upgraded to a 7.4, which is extremely high. Um, it's high for a U.S. city that is, retrofitted with buildings for earthquakes. Is let's just say is what's the word I'm looking for? It is demolishing for a city or a country, that is not retrofitted for earthquakes, especially ones that are mostly just made out of brick, which is, I would say, 98% of the buildings here. Um, it happened in San Jose del Palmar, San Jose del Palmar, and Choco, which is in Western Colombia. And the depth roughly was 107 kilometers, which is relatively deep for an earthquake of this size. The earthquake was felt across a huge portion of Colombia, which mainly the like real detrimental parts were in Cali, Pereira, Manizales, um, in Armenia, which is generally the coffee region, but it also was felt in Bogota, Medellin. Some people have messaged me that they felt it in Panama, in Ecuador, and as well in Venezuela. So this was a fairly big earthquake. Definitely following the one that happened in Venezuela. I think it was a couple months ago now. So let me check here. Yeah, I still have a lot of people messaging me asking me if I'm okay. But they obviously don't know that that the earthquake happened, a lot further west or at least south from Medellin, but we weren't hit that badly. All right, so nothing on WhatsApp yet. Um, all right, so guys, please do me a favor, hit the like button. Also, if you guys are going to be here, um, please do me a favor. Like I said, even if you donate a dollar is fine. The whole point of this live is to, try to get some money to help with this earthquake relief. So, I'm not trying to be rude to anybody, but the idea of this is to raise money. So if you're going to be here watching, at least help out in some shape or form. Um, this is you guys' opportunity to help out and actually do something positive here in Colombia, even though you're using me as your vessel to physically go there and, do everything you can still donate and help out. And the whole idea of this as well is that I want to show that, guys that either live here or foreigners that live here. We're not just here for, you know, the women or cheap cost of living, that we actually do care and that we're actually, you know, willing to contribute our time and physicality and ourselves to help, you know, the country that we're living in. Or if you're somebody that visit here frequently, you're somebody that's willing to help out and contribute in some way to this beautiful country of Colombia, regardless, you know, if it has its flaws or not. Everywhere has its flaws, but when we're talking about people's lives that are, you know, been dramatically affected, we all can help out in some way. So, as I said, once again, that is the point of this live. As much as I love to just get on here and entertain you guys, there is a goal at hand. So, you know, I expect some people to drop out that aren't planning on, you know, donating or contributing anyway. That's totally fine. This live is not for them. This is for the people that actually, like I said, care about Colombia and its people and the country itself, and that actually want to contribute and help in some way. So the second thing here is the earthquake so far. They're saying that I don't know when this last was reported, but it's at least 111 are dead, or, you know, reported dead. I expect this number to shoot up um, by tomorrow or within the next couple of days. Excuse me. Whenever I talk a lot, my mouth tends to get very dry. Um, so I expect this number to go up because obviously there are going to be people found in the rubble. There are going to be, you know, different things of bodies being discovered. So this 111, I definitely expect to shoot up. 87 have been injured. So the number of expected to change as results. Rescue teams reach additional areas. Now, as I said, my whole goal of driving down there tomorrow is to try to assist in any way that I can. This is very spontaneous of me. I don't have like a specific area I know of, a specific area I know of that directly has been affected. My ideal goal is to go down and start talking to people and just see where I can go and be of assistance, and whatever supplies I have, where those can be distributed. And I'm pretty sure there are going to be shelters and stuff like that, because there were literally like 5-story buildings that have collapsed. So this means that some people who had a home last night woke up and didn't have a home this morning. So I'm trying to do my best to contribute in any way that I can possible. Hold on one second. If you want, bro, we may be able to use your help. We have a family in Choco and Cali. I have to get back to our house. I'm getting donations now. We are getting to bring supplies down and then family back up with us. If you're down to make that trip, that would be a huge help too. Our driver will be going as well and you could follow him. I'll respond to that later. So yeah, that is what is, you know, what is reported at the moment. Perdita appears to be one of the hardest hit areas, which is why I'm choosing to go to Perdita. Surprisingly, you know, I'm not going to say I'm glad I didn't go, but um, before I started doing these whole event planning and stuff like that, my plan was to actually go down to actually move to Perdita from Medellin and go live there. But I started this and decided to stay. So if I would have went, I would have been, you know, more than likely involved in this, you know, this earthquake as well, more dramatically than I have been here in Medellin. So this is also another reason as well why I want to help, because, you know, I should have been there, or I would have been there if I did move. So um Reports indicate numerous buildings collapsed or were seriously damaged. People are trapped inside of structures. The airport suffered damage. Rescue workers and civilians have been searching collapsed structures, which is also what I want to try to do as well, is help with this searching of people. Now, I've always seen in different places or videos of stuff like this that happen, and it's always like, oh man, that's sad, but you basically continue on with your life, and um, you don't ever really do anything to help or contribute because it didn't happen to me, or it didn't affect me. But in this case, I'm thinking, well, what if it did? What if this was one of your family members or somebody like that? You will want, as many people as possible trying to help you, especially if you're someone who didn't have much resources as far as financially to pay people to help or whatever it is. So, um, like I said, I'm trying to do my part. So, guys, please, if you can, once again, um, you know, bless the Cash App or hit the QR code, donate. Like I said, anything helps, even if it's $1 or $2, whatever you can contribute will be going towards this earthquake relief fund and the supplies that I'm going to be purchasing tonight, and also getting ready to head up to or down to, should I say, to Perdita in the morning. So, Cali was also another place that got significantly hit very hard. And same thing with them. Hundreds of buildings were damaged, multiple structure collapses, people potentially trapped beneath rubble. Residents and emergency crews are carrying out searches as well. Choco may be the biggest unknown right now. This is something that has been emphasized. I think that was like the dead center of where it happened, was in Choco. So um, they're probably going to be like completely demolished there. Like I said, it is predominantly African American population that does occupy Choco. So, as we all know, generally in the African American populations, they tend to be a lot of low income or, not very high income communities. So, um, I'm not planning on going that far. I think it's a much further drive than 4 or 5 hours, which is where Pereira is. Another influencer I know messaged me about going to Cali to help his family out. I don't plan on going that far to Cali. I think Cali is another like 3 or 4 hours from, I want to say, yeah, it's like another 2 to 3 hours from uh, Perdita. So I don't plan on doing that much driving, and I'm going by myself. So I usually, I'm fine to drive. Like I drive, I can actually drive a long period of time. Driving is very therapeutic to me. So I don't mind it. And driving, if you never made the drive from Medellin down to Perdita or the coffee region, it is an absolutely beautiful drive. A lot of nature, a lot of greenery, mountains, and stuff like that. So I definitely don't mind making the drive on a normal day, but especially more, it's more motivating if it is for a good cause. So, um, let's see here. Still nothing on the Cash App. All right, guys. So once again, the purpose of this live is to raise funds for the earthquake relief. Um, if you can, please, whatever you can donate, shit, even if it's like 50 cents, $1, it doesn't matter. The goal is to get as much as possible to help out the people who are in Pereira. That is the part of Colombia that I'm choosing to go to and physically help out. I want to pull up on, let me share the screen. So this is smoke from this is actually here in Medellin and El Poblado. There was some damage that was that happened, but not as much as there's been in not as much as there has been in the coffee region. So let me see if I can find. Where's the sound at?
Oh, Dios, mira, me tocó, me tocó salir así sin zapatos, sin bata. Yo vivo en el piso número 35 y parce, uff, qué hijo de puta susto.
So he's saying that he lived on floor 37.
O sea, fue tanto el susto que nos dio que cometí un error que yo sé que uno no lo puede cometer, pero como estoy en un piso 35, me tocó subirme al ascensor y bajar, porque es que, o sea, son demasiados pisos, o sea, era imposible llegar abajo.
So another thing too is like when people do decide to evacuate here, obviously you're not going to be taking the elevator. So if he lived on floor 37, he essentially had to run down 36 flights of stairs, to get out of the building. Where I live on floor 6. I didn't choose to run out just because to me the magnitude of the earthquake wasn't that strong to me. No glass was breaking. The stuff that I have was like barely shaking. So maybe it's because my building might be a little bit newer. But for the older buildings, those people probably felt it a lot more. But 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 if you lived on like a lower floor, you probably wouldn't feel it as much, especially like I'm saying where I live on floor 6. But for someone who lives on a 37th floor, a 20th floor, something much higher up, you're definitely going to feel that wobbling a lot more.
Vean, o sea, aquí es cuando uno conoce a los vecinos. Me encontré a los vecinos, no, qué hijo de puta que tembló tan fuerte, nea, o sea, uff.
Let me see if I can find some other footage. Surprised more this is not on a For You page. All right, let me reshare this. Imagine it's just like a fire. This is in Perdita. So this is why I'm choosing to go down to Perdita tomorrow, and like I said, lend my physicality and whatever I can do, whether it's looking through rubble, trying to help find people's family members or whatever it is. So like I said, I'm trying to do my part. guys, I would appreciate if you guys can assist me if you really rock with the channel, the content, me as a person. You will help out and try to donate something to the cause. Like I said, anything helps, whether it's $1, whether it's $2, whatever it may be, whatever you can spare. I know, things are rough at this point in time with the economy, and everybody's trying to, basically just make it to the next day or whatever it is. So I completely understand. But what I'm trying to do is rally you guys together and essentially get whatever I can. And like I said, it doesn't matter if it's $5, if it's $10, whatever it may be. At this point, anything helps. Unfortunately, the exchange rate isn't the greatest right now, but whatever we get, we're gonna try to make it work. So once again, I have my Cash App up on the screen. I have my QR code if you want to send in, regardless, as a super chat, however you want to send it in. It doesn't matter to me, long as we send in something. I think about it this way, guys: if you can spend, $6-7 on Starbucks or McDonald's, you can spend that same amount of money to help out somebody in need, potentially change a life. So I'm gonna give this a second here. We got one donation in, and this is from Travel Lover. Travel Lover, I appreciate you, man. Let me grab something to drink real quick. I will be right back. I'm gonna put that. All right. So once again, big shout out to Travel Lover. I want to shout him out. Let me make sure I don't have any personal information here. It doesn't, but we got Travel Lover with the $25 donation. Appreciate you, man. All right. So so this is basically what it's looking like right now in Perdita. Like I said, Perdita is going to be the area which I'm choosing to go to help out.
Bueno, voy a intentar ingresar al apartamento. Me da un poco de susto. Tengo temor igual. En el segundo piso del apartamento de al lado. Este es el apartamento donde vivía. Así quedó la cocina, la nevera. Estoy intentando entrar. Miren las paredes, los muebles. Esto está horrible. Ese cuadro se salvó, el espejo.
So as I said before, guys, you may think that whatever is going on in your life right now may be hard or, may be tough, but for some people, like I said, last night they went to sleep with a home, with a roof over their head, and then to wake up this morning, for some people, luckily to still have their life, but they now are out of a home and potentially on the streets. So, I feel like if we're in somewhat of a better situation, we all can do something, regardless of how small or how big it is, to help out. It may not be physically getting in a car and driving 5 hours or 4 to 5 hours to physically help out and be there present. But, like I said, $1, $2, whatever it is, may go a long way with potentially helping another person out. So if you guys can, once again, I have my Cash App up there. Also, I have the QR code. Normally, I'm never one to get on stream and beg for money. And I really don't want to consider this begging for money. Like I said, I'm trying to do this to help out other people. And, you know, I like to think that I have a pretty solid group of subscribers or of supporters, shall we say. And, you know, if you guys rock with me, you will try to assist me in any way you can to, you know, come up with some donations for this relief fund that we're doing.
Se salvó. El cuarto de mi hija, televisor. Mire cómo quedó mi hija. Si mi hija hubiera estado allí durmiendo, se le caía todo esto. Alcanzamos a salir. Este es el cuarto nuestro. El cuarto nuestro, mire, esa pared se abrió. El aire acondicionado. La cama. Bueno, gracias a Dios estamos con vida. Voy a intentar sacar cosas de mis fotografías. Dios mío, protégeme. Este es mi estudio. No, se vino al piso todo mi estudio, mire. Dios mío. Bueno, voy a intentar ingresar al apartamento.
De la iglesia, de la iglesia. ¡Cuidado!
Así quedó la estructura de nuestra iglesia. Aquí vemos que cayó una de las torres, cayó del cielo, hizo un gran boquete, abrió los techos.
Well, I've seen this whole building completely. I'm not sure if this was the bus terminal or if that was the airport. Cool. So this is basically saying confirm that basically in this moment 10 buildings collapsed. And those two people, I'm not sure what that last word is. I think it might be like fail.
Terremoto. Ay, mira la catedral, mira, se cayó el santo, se cayó, se cayó. Terremoto, se cayó el santo de la catedral. Se cayó el santo de la catedral y se cayeron las torres. Vea, se cayó, se cayó. Se está cayendo, se está cayendo.
All right. So
De la iglesia, de la iglesia. Todas las personas que puedan venir a ayudar a la clínica de salud. Vengan.
all right. So, now you guys got a chance to see a little bit of what's gone on here or what happened this morning. If you have not seen any of those clips in your algorithm, there may not be much Colombia news on it. But for me, this was pretty much been on my feed and in people's stories all day. So originally this morning, I just figured, what I'll do is I'll send some money in to help donate, and I'll go on about my life. But the more I kept seeing these different videos and hearing different stories, I was like, what? For the first time, I'm actually close enough where I can actually make a difference physically. So, let me just get up and get off my ass and actually go down there and do something about it. I'm pretty sure there's probably not going to be very many YouTubers that are going to be doing this same type of thing. You may get people that are going to do fundraisers, and not saying by any chance or I'm not saying in any way, shape, or form that people who are just doing fundraisers and only collecting money, there's anything wrong with that, because there's not. Every dollar helps. Every bit of assistance helps. But I just feel compelled myself to actually get up and go there physically and do something. And to me, I felt that this was the best thing to do. Once again, like I said, I have the time on my hands. I'm fortunate enough that I don't have to, be stuck at a normal job for 8 hours where I can't leave, my computer or my house or anything like that. Like I said, I've reached out to a few different other influencers. I've reached out to just any other foreigners that I may know that are living here and working remotely to see if they wanted to go. Everybody is either busy or have stuff going on. So, you know what? I said, F it. I'm just going to go by myself then. So that is the plan. So once again, guys, if you can, please donate something to the fund. I have my Cash App here. Also, I have the QR code there. If you want to send it in the form of a super chat, you can do that as well. Let's see. Was there anything else that I wanted to cover? So here, this basically says some research that I did. Emergency response is now the priority. The Colombian government has declared an emergency and mobilized additional resources. One significant development today is the deployment of 180 specialized military search and rescue personnel from Bogota towards the Coffee region, and then also in Choco and Cali. Aftershocks are continuing. I didn't feel any additional aftershocks this morning. And then this says there is There's not currently any tsunami threats, which I didn't think there would be. Okay. So yeah, that was pretty much it. Everything that I had down noted. So, um, you guys, you saw some of the Instagram reels there. There's more and more footage that is flooding in on TikTok, as we speak. So, like I said, I'm trying to do my part in not only just gathering donations online, but also as well of just me physically going down there and seeing whatever I can do to help. So, I am also going to be trying to, if I can, I have no idea what conditions things are there, but I'm going to be trying to do my best to try to document some of this as well. For those of you who want to come along, or obviously can't physically come along on the journey, you'll at least be able to see some of the content of what's going on there, and then also if you did make any donations, how those donations are going to be impacting and affecting people in Perdita. Which, like once again, for anybody that may have just joined, Perdita is where I chose to go and essentially, give my assistance. So once again, I appreciate anybody and everybody who can donate something, whether it's $1, whether it's 50 cents. Really doesn't matter how big or small it is. The ideal here is just to donate so that way we can help somebody out. One thing that I really don't want us to be known for and always just seen in the public eye is just, oh, we can come down here and spend money and trick on prostitution and partying and drugs or whatever else it may be, but we can't put our own money towards actually helping the country that you want to come and enjoy. Whether it's you're only coming here on a vacation or you're coming here, you know to potentially, or you have plans to potentially move here, whatever it may be. The idea should be you want to contribute to a place that you want to live, or you want to visit long term, whatever it may be. So that was the goal today, was to try to, like I said, raise some money to help essentially with the earthquake relief. And what time is it now? 6:50. So I'm going to be in here for a little while longer. My plan is, as soon as I finish here, I'm going to get some stuff together, and then I'm going to head down to Price Mart, which once again, Price Mart is like the Costco of Colombia, and there you can buy things in bulk. So I plan on buying a bunch of thing of water and different perishable goods that won't go bad. Nothing that I have to refrigerate or anything like that. And then also on top of whatever I can take down there, I'm also going to be lending my time and myself to trying to help go through some of this rubble and stuff like that. If I can find any of these sites where they may need help to potentially look for survivors or people's pets or whatever it may be. Like I said, I'm trying to do my small part. Now, like I said, I don't expect other YouTubers to do anything like this. This is mainly just me. It's who I am. I think in my heart of hearts, I'm a good guy. I truly, care about other people and their well-being. So it's very hard to be so close to something. Well, not technically close, but be close to something and then not go and contribute in some type of way. So let me see here. Yeah, I think I pulled up everything that I could find. Hold on.
Las columnas, las columnas. Unas columnitas de papel.
Colombia just experienced a 7.4 magnitude earthquake at 7:34 a.m. today on August 10th, 2026, the strongest earthquake to hit Colombia in decades. The epicenter of this earthquake was in the department of Chocó in the municipality of San José del Palmar. The most affected cities are all the cities in the coffee region, Manizales, Pereira, Armenia, as well as Cali and the capital of the Chocó department, Quibdó. In all of the cities that I just mentioned, there's buildings that have completely fallen down. I'm seeing videos coming out of Pereira where the entire centro area of Pereira is filled with rubble and fallen buildings. Apparently the death toll in Pereira is 18 so far. This is still unfolding. Unfortunately, there's most likely going to be more deaths. I've seen a video of the Pereira airport, Aeropuerto Matecaña, completely destroyed. Man, Pereira seems to have gotten the worst damages out of any of the cities. The historic cathedral of Manizales suffered significant structural damages. Here in Medellin, it was just scary. Like everything moved. It felt very, very strong. It was scary. I was scared for my life, I'll be honest. It was 7:30 in the morning. I was just getting out of bed. I felt everything moving. I sleep in my boxers, so I ran out to get my shirt, some shorts, some chancletas, grabbed my phone, just ran out. Everyone in my building was running out because, man, it really was that bad. I felt earthquakes before in Colombia, but this one was strongest I've ever felt in my life, man. Like everything was moving. I could hear the building moving. So imagine how it felt in Pereira, where buildings actually fell, in the coffee region, in Quibdó and Cali. Thankfully, in Medellin, nothing significant happened. It was just scary. As far as I know right now, there hasn't been any deaths or any significant structural damages here in Medellin. So I don't know much about geology, but I know that on the western ridge of South America, where Medellin is located, where all these cities that I just mentioned are located, there's two plates that are moving against each other. It's the South American plate and the Nazca plate. So the Nazca plate is moving eastward, about 60 to 80 millimeters per year. And that movement creates pressure, and that's what creates these releases of pressure, which are what create the earthquakes and these devastating occurrences. I just seen a video, just as I was about to upload this reel, of the Puracé volcano in the Cauca department emitting a lot of ash. Very strong ash emissions from the Puracé volcano right now. So there's definitely a lot of geological activity going on. Something's going on right now. So everyone, please be careful, please be aware. And yeah, guys, I'll keep you updated as best I can.
All right. So let me switch back over to this. All right. So, there you see it. That is pretty much what is going on. As he said, Pereira seems like it's been hit the hardest. I thought it would have been Chocó, but apparently not. So once again, for anybody that has just recently joined here, Pereira is where I'm planning on going in the morning. I plan on driving down there I'm planning on staying for a couple of days. So I do plan on bringing any kind of supplies and stuff like that I can. Let me do it this way. I do plan on bringing any type of supplies that I can. And 2 days is, I think it should be sufficient enough. I do have some stuff to do this weekend. It'll be Tuesday, so I'll be staying Tuesday night, Wednesday night. Actually, it might actually only be one night and one day, because, or actually 2 days. It'll be Tuesday, and I'll be coming back Wednesday because I actually have Pico Placker on Thursday. So I can't drive in Medellin until 8 p.m. on Thursday. So I need to be back in Medellin before Thursday. So more than likely I'll be leaving very, very early on Wednesday night. Yeah, very early Wednesday night. Because Pico Placker, I think that starts between 5 a.m. It's like 5 or 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. So I won't be able to drive that day. So I'll make sure I do whatever I need to do and get back before then. So guys, once again, the whole purpose of this live is to get donations for this earthquake relief fund that I'm starting. Is everything that is donated today is going to be going towards buying supplies, and everything is going to be going down to Perdita in the morning. I'm planning on driving there myself in my car. As soon as I finish this live, the plan is to go to PriceSmart to actually pick up supplies and anything else that they may need down there in Perdita. And my goal is to not only just, take supplies, but actually physically help out as well with potentially maybe digging through rubble or whatever it may be to help rescue some people. So anything that you can donate will be appreciated. I'm only going to be on for a few more minutes here because I do have to get some more of my stuff ready. So, guys, I appreciate if whatever you can give. Like I said, whether it's $1, $2, whatever it may be, anything helps. Let me check here. Let's see, still only one donation. Yep, only one donation. All right, guys. So, like I said, I hate to get on here and beg people, but once again, the purpose of this live is to raise money for this earthquake relief fund. Like I said, whatever you can donate is appreciated, whether it's $1, whether it's $2, whatever it may be. But the idea is to donate something. And, I'm fine with a normal live stream. If I come on here, I may be on here for 3-4 hours and talk and may not get any donations. That's fine. It's all for the sake of entertainment. But in this case, this is actually for other people. This is actually helping other people out. So if you can, please, once again, donate to the cause. Like I said, it is going towards helping people. So once again, I want to go over what my plan is for Perdita. So as soon as this live stream is over, I'm basically taking whatever donations I got from here, also my own money as well, and going to PriceSmart. I plan on buying supplies there, loading up my car, probably finish up packing. I am going to try to document as much as I can, but like I said, I don't know the state of how things are there. I may not really be able to document anything besides a couple of videos for YouTube or something like that. And I mean, not YouTube, Instagram or TikTok, something very short, and that's it. But the whole point of this isn't to try to do this for any kind of publicity or anything like that. The idea of this for me is to genuinely help people out. But I do want people to, at least my subscribers, I want you guys to be able to, be able to see firsthand what's going on there and, see the efforts that are being done to actually help people. So, that is the point of this. That is the mission of this, is, like I said, to help people out. I'm going to leave this live stream up, so whoever may be watching this after fact, after it goes after the actual original live, if you donated something and I wasn't able to thank you in the moment live on stream, I do want to say thank you in advance, or thank you after the fact, I guess, for donating. If you were somebody who did donate, you're very much appreciated as well. Like I said, I do plan on doing updates. If you guys aren't following me on either TikTok or Instagram on like short form platforms, definitely follow me there, because I will be doing some, smaller updates. But yeah, it's been about an hour. I said I would just be on here for an hour. Appreciate everybody who donated. Once again, I want to read that out. So we have one donation, and that was from Travel Lover. Once again, like I said, I wanted to send a big thank you out to Travel Lover. I know it's inverted, but he donated $25. So I wanted to make sure that he got his proper shout out and thanks. Hopefully you're following, the content, or you're following me on the other platforms as well, so you can see exactly how your money is being utilized and the people that is helping. So I appreciate everybody for watching. I need to start getting stuff together for tomorrow in preparation of heading down to Perdita. So I appreciate you all, and you guys be